Namaste students. Today we are starting second unit of financial accounting for BCom first sem. In second unit we are going to discuss about all subsidiary books. In this video lesson we are going to discuss about what are the different types of subsidiary books and what is the need for preparing subsidiary books and some small problems on purchase book, preparation of purchase book, preparation of sales book, preparation of purchase returns books, and preparation of purchase sales returns books. These are the outcomes of today's video lesson. In the last 9 video lessons, already we discussed the introduction to accounting, and at the same time we discussed about how to write journal entries in an easy way. And you know very well in the particularly FA3, FA4, FA5 video lessons are very important for the learners. If you follow these FA3, FA4, FA5 video lessons, no doubt you will get primary knowledge on writing journal entries. And if you follow my FA6, FA7, FA8 video lessons, no doubt you are going to get a very good knowledge on journal entries. Even though you are having so many doubts and at the same time students are making so many mistakes in journal entries, all these are rectified. All these are explained with the FA6 video lesson, that is common errors in generalizing. In this FA6 video lesson, which is very important, I discussed more about how students are making mistakes and what is the exact way and what is the easy way of writing journal entries. That's why I am asking students to go through FA6 video lessons. If you have any doubts, if you want to start your generalizing process better, you start with FA3, FA4, FA5, and that is for basic journal entries. And FA6, 7, 8, these three are for advanced learners. Once you complete these 9 video lessons, which I worked out consecutively for a series of first unit, no doubt you are going to be very good at journal entries, and you never commit a mistake in writing journal entries. If you are still you are making a mistake, means once again you have to go through it, and once again you have to check FA6 video lesson. Then no doubt you will feel very happy, you will feel blessed. Okay, let us start screen sharing. So, you know, very well, I'm Shyam Prasad, the Faculty of Commerce in Tara Government Degree College, Sangareddy. And in the outcome of these video lessons are what is the need for subdivision of journal into subsidiary books, what are the different types of subsidiary books, how to prepare purchase book, sales book, and how to prepare purchase returns books and sales returns book. And what is the first we see, what is the need of subsidiary books? So when you are writing, no doubt journal entries, you know, you have so many, you have to follow debit and credit rules, and you have to have very good knowledge on accounts. When you have good knowledge on accounts only, you are going to write journal entries in the only one journal which we discussed in the last 9 video lessons. When you come to subsidiary books, the most important and most dynamic of subsidiary books is it is very easy to write subsidiary books when compared to only one journal. If you want to write only one journal, you have to have very good knowledge. But if you want to write subsidiary books, it's very easy. So subsidiary books were divided into 8 different categories of journals, so that even a layman can easily write subsidiary books without any basic knowledge, primary knowledge in accountancy. Also they can write purchase book, they can write sales book, they can write purchase returns book, sales book, even cash book also without knowledge they can write. So we see how so the whenever the number of transactions are very large, it is practically impossible to record all the transactions through one journal. That's why the journal is divided into different subsidiary books. So the reasons are repetitive journalizing and posting. For example, if you sell goods 10 times, you have to write cash account data to sales account, cash account data to sales account 10 times. So this is going to take huge time and work. And do not provide information from me. If you want to know what is the sales for a month, you cannot get it from journal. But in a subsidiary book, from sales book is prepared, you can instantly you can get what is the total of sales. And the journal becomes bulky and voluminous if you write all the entries, and sometimes it may be confusing. That's why the journal is divided into easily in as 8 subsidiary books: one purchase book, two sales book, one purchase returns book, and sales returns book. These 4 are goods journals. We have 4 goods journals. When goods are purchased on credit, we have to write in purchase book. When goods are sold on credit, we have to write in sales book. When goods purchased on credit return to suppliers, so we have to write in purchase returns book. When goods sold to customers, if they return, that will be wrote in sales returns book. And the cash book is of 4 types. That is single column cash book, 2 column cash book, triple column cash book, and a petty cash book. Different types of cash book I will explain in the FA11 video lesson. And the bills receivable book and bills payable book. So these are all the books of bills where the bills accepted by our customers, which are received by us, will be entered in bills receivable book. The bills which we accepted to our creditors written in bills payable book. And last but not least is 8, that is journal proper. So that the transactions which are not possible to enter in the first 7 subsidiary books are entered in journal proper. So journal proper is also called the last book, that is whatever the transactions which we have not recorded in the first 7 books, which is not possible to record in first 7 books, will be recorded in journal. We discuss in next about journal proper and all these things in the next video lesson. So let us start first purchase book. So purchase book is also called purchase journal. Purchase book also called purchase journal. In this book, all the goods which are purchased on credit from the suppliers will be recorded with their name. So what is the primary recording in purchase book? All the goods which are purchased on credit. The goods which are purchased on credits recorded in the purchase book in the given format. The cash purchases obviously recorded in the cash book, you know very well. So the format for purchase book is the purchase book is first date column, the date in which we purchased will be recorded, and the name of the supplier from whom we purchased the goods, and invoice number or bill number, and a ledger folio means that is ledger account page number, and the details means what are the details of purchase, the number of meters purchased, number of reams purchased, like that, and the total amount from which they purchased will be taken in the amount. So this is a 6 column format: date column, supplier name column, invoice number or bill number column, ledger folio column, details column, and amount column. So this is the 8 column purchase book or purchase journal. So the important point you have to remember is the goods which are purchased on credit will be recorded with the supplier name in purchase. That is very, very important point. The cash purchases obviously went to cash book. Then come to sales book. Sales book also called sales journal. So as this is also called day book, this is also called day book. Sales book also called day book, you have to remember. So in the sales book, only credit sale of goods to customers will be recorded. The goods which are sold to customers on credit. The goods which are sold to customers on credit will be recorded in sales book or sales journal. Cash sales obviously recorded in the cash book. What is the format? This is also 6 column format. The date on which we sold goods recorded in the date column, and the name of the customer will be recorded in the name column. The invoice number or bill number recorded in the invoice number column. Ledger folio means the ledger page number of the customer recorded in the ledger folio. Details of the sale and the amount will be recorded in the sales book, such as this. So very important point you have to remember here, the purchase book and sales book, these two are very important for when credit purchase of goods, then we have to enter in a purchase book. When there is credit sale of goods, then that is to be entered in sales book. That is important point you have to know here. Then come to purchase returns book and sales returns book. And the goods which are purchased from suppliers, if returned to them because they are defective, because they are not good, so they have to be returned to the suppliers from whom we purchased the goods on credit. So this is also 6-column format: date on which we are returned the goods, and name of the suppliers to whom we return the goods, and the debit note number. This is very important. Whenever we purchase the goods from a supplier, you know very well, the entry is purchases account data to supplier account. Supplier account is created. So whenever goods return, we have to debit the supplier account with the return of goods. So that debit note number we have to write here. So debit note is the statement sent to the supplier with the return of goods, with the details of the goods. Ledger folio means the supplier account number, page number, account page number in the ledger, details of the goods returned, and amount is recorded. This is a 6-column format: date, name of the supplier to whom we sent the goods, and debit note number, and the ledger folio page number of the ledger account of the supplier, and details of the goods returned, and the amount will be recorded in this purchase returns book. And the sales returns books are returns. This is a returns inward book, because when the customer return goods to us, goods are coming in. That's why it's called returns inward goods, returns inward book. And when we return goods to the customer, that is called returns outward book. So when we return goods to supplier, goods are going out, that is called returns outward book. When returns given by the customer, that is returns inward book. So sales returns book, the goods which are sold to customers, if they are returned by the customers because of defective, because they are not good, entered in the sales returns book. The format is 6-column format: date on which date the customer returned the goods, name of the customer who returned the goods, credit note number. Whenever we sell the goods, you know very well, first we have to debit the customer account data to sales. When we sell goods, customer account data to sales account, customer account debited. When they return the goods, we have to debit, we have to credit his account with the amount of goods. So that's why the credit note is to be prepared. Then ledger page number of the customer account, and details and amount will be recorded in the sales returns book. So these are the 4 goods journals. We have 4 good journals. So one is purchase book to record credit purchase of goods. Second one is sales book to record credit sale of goods, and purchase returns book or returns in outwards book is recorded the goods returned to suppliers. Sales returns book or returns inward book, that is the goods returned by customers to us, will be recorded. So we work out some problems on these 4 books so that it will be very easy for you to understand how to enter the transactions in sales book, purchase returns books, and sales returns book. See here, prepare purchase book and purchase returns. Prepare purchase book and purchase returns book. The problem is like this: on 1/1/20, purchased goods from Ramdas, Mumbai, 100 meters of silk at 45 per meter. On 3rd January 2020, purchases from Mohan, Varanasi, shedding cloth for rupees 20,000. Trade discount is 10%. On 5/1/20, 5th January, returns to Ramdas 10 meters of silk. On 7th January, purchased from Sri Ram and brothers long cloth 10 pieces at the rate of 100 per piece. And on 9th January, returns to Mohan, shirting cloth 2000 return to. So, I to prepare purchase book and purchase returns book. And how to prepare purchase book and purchase returns book. So, you know very well in purchase book, all credit purchase of goods recorded. Credit purchase of goods are recorded. So, first we see purchase book. Purchased goods from Ramdas, Mumbai. 100 meters silk 45. So whenever a transaction is having a personal account, that is deemed to be credit transaction. So this is credit purchase of goods. This is to be recorded in the purchase book. So date, that is 1st January 20, and the name of the supplier is Ramdas Mumbai, and invoice number. This is only a problem for this. In real time analysis, we have to write a bill number, but here not problem. Ledger folio also in real time we have to record ledger folio, ledger page number, but here no problem. So how much purchases? 100 meters 45. So 100 into 45. 4500 worth of goods purchased from Ramdas. Very simple. Here no need to have any debit and credit rules. Nothing. Even a layman, a purchase book is maybe very big book. In that book, they write that is a purchase book. Whatever the goods purchased from different suppliers will be recorded with their name, with the date. So from 1st January 2020, we purchased from Ramdas Mumbai 100 meters of silk at 45. So 4500. This is very simple way of writing the journal or purchase book. On 3rd, purchases from Mohan Varanasi, shirting cloth 20,000 at trade discount. You know very well the discount which is offered at the time of purchase or sale on catalog price is called trade discount. Trade discount is simply a reduction in the catalog price and need not be recorded in the books of accounts. That's why. So we purchased 20,000. So date on 3rd and with Mohan name 20,000 worth of goods minus 10 per 20,000, 10%, 2,000 is to be less. So 18,000 is recorded. 18,000 is recorded with the Mohan name in the purchase book. The 2,000 need not be recorded. So the trade discount will not be recorded in the books of accounts. So 18,000 is recorded in the books of accounts. So simple. What is that? Mohan date and 20,000 minus 2,000, 18,000 less trade discount 10%. Returns to Ramdas 10 meters of silk. So this return will be recorded in the purchase return book. We discuss later. Next, on 7th, purchase from Sri Ram and brothers long cloth 10 pieces 100 per piece. So simply this is also credit purchase. Simply on 7th, name of the supplier Sri Ram. So 10 pieces, one of each piece 100 rupees. 10 into 1 means 1,000. So this is purchase book. So 18,000, 19,000, 23,000. For total purchase book is 23,500. Total purchase book is 23,500. Transfer to purchase account. Total 23,500 transfer to purchase account. Come to purchase returns account. So what are the how many returns are there? We return to Ramdas, we return to Mohan. So we return to Ramdas 10 meters of silk. We put date 5 January 20. Ramdas name, Ramdas of Mumbai, and 10 meters of silk. What is the each meter is 45. 10 into 45, 450. 10 into 45, 450 returned goods to Ramdas. Then on 9th, we returned goods to Mohan, shirting cloth 2,000, shirting cloth 2,000. So date, Mohan name, and 2,000, 2,450 is the total of purchase. 2,450 is the total of purchase book. This amount is transferred to purchase returns account. Purchase returns account. So from purchase book, the total is transferred to purchase account 23,500. So purchase account is debited with the 23,500. Purchase returns account is created with the 2,450. This is about purchase book and the purchase returns book. Very simple. Total 5 transactions have taken. First transaction, January 1st, January 3rd, January 7th. These 3 dates: January 1st, January 3rd, January 7th. 3 dates. Name of the suppliers: Ramdas Mumbai, Mohan Varanasi, Sriram. Their names are recorded, and the amount 100 meters into 45, 4,500, 20,000 minus 10%, 18,000, and 10 pieces into 100. So the total is recorded. This is 23,500 purchase book total. This purchase book total is transferred to purchase account. Purchase returns book, we have 2 years, that is 5th and 9th, 5th and 9th. On 5th, we returned 10 meters, 10 meters into 45, 450. And on 9th, we returned 2,450 transferred to purchase returns account. Then prepare sales book and sales returns book. In the second example, first I see here. On 1st January, goods sold to Rani Hyderabad, 45 meters of silk, 100 per meter. So 45 meters we sold to Rani at 100 per meter. On 3rd January, goods sold to Mahesh Amravati, shirting cloth 10,000 worth of goods sold to Mahesh, but 10% is trade discount. On 5th January, returns from Rani. Some goods may not be good, may be defective. Return 10 meters of silk returned by Rani. On 7th, we sold goods to Shravan Brothers, long cloth, 4 pieces. Each piece is 150. We sold to Shravan Brothers. On 9th, Mahesh returned 200 rupees worth of cloth. 200 rupees worth of cloth. These are the transactions. We have to prepare a sales book. And so, in sales book, we have to enter the transactions. That is great sale of goods. What are the great sale of goods here? Goods sold to Rani. This is great sale of goods. Goods sold to Mahesh. This is great sale of goods. Goods sold to Shravan. This is great sale of goods. There are 3 great sale of goods are there. 3 are to be entered. And what are the returns? Are the returns Rani 1, returns to Mahesh 2. This to be entered in the sales returns book. So in sales returns book, the goods which are sold to customers, if they return, entered in sales returns book. So first we prepare sales book how to enter in the sales. So goods sold to Rani on 1st January. So the 1st January date and the Rani of Hyderabad and name and invoice number, ledger follow number. Only real time way to record here. No, not possible. So 45 meters into 100, 4500. 45 meters into 100, 4500 for the goods sold to Rani. To Mahesh on 3rd, Mahesh of Amaravati, 10,000 worth of goods, but trade discount 10%. 10,000 minus less trade discount 10% means 1,000. That means we only sold 9,000 worth of 9,000 trade sales and 9,000 due from Mahesh 9,000. Next, goods sold to Shravan. Long cloth 4 pieces, 150 each, 4 into 150, 600. On 7th date with Shravan name, 600. So in these 5 transactions, only 3 are credit sale of goods. They recorded with the date, with the name of the customer, with the value of the goods. Total 9,000, 4,000, 13,000, 14,100 sales book total. This 14,100 sales book total is transferred to sales account. Credit side 14,100. Come to sales returns book. The goods which are sold to customers, if returned by them, we sold goods to Rani 45 meters, she returned 10 meters. We sold goods to Mahesh 10,000 worth of shirting cloth, they returned 200 worth of goods. So on 5th Rani returned goods 10 meters into how much? 100. 10 meters into 100, 1,000 worth of goods returned by Rani. And on Mahesh, on 9th, Mahesh returned 200 worth of goods. So 1,200 is the total of sales return book. This amount is returned to the total sales return book is 1,200. So this amount is debited to sales returns account. Sales returns. This is the book of first entry, sales return book. Sales return journal first entry, and the second entry is sales returns account. The sales returns account is debited with 1,200. Sales account is this is sales book, sales journal, the book of first entry. Sales account, the 14,100 is credited to sales account. That's all from sales preparation of sales book and sales returns book. So here uh, we learned how to prepare the purchase book, how to prepare purchase returns book, how to prepare sales book, how to prepare sales returns book. So by the end of this, you now see how easy to write purchase book, sales book, purchase returns book, and sales returns book. That's why the journal writing, journal entries is a tough task. If you want to make this tough task easy, you have to see my video lessons FA 3, 4, 5 for basic knowledge, FA 6, 7, 8 for advanced knowledge. If you see this 6, then it is very easy to write journal entries, or else it is very difficult. But the subsidiary books, by 8 subsidiary books, making writing journal is very easy. The book of first entry is very easy by subdivision of journal into 8 subsidiary books. You see how easy you have to write in purchase book. All the credit purchases are recorded with their name and date. All credit sales are recorded with their name and date. The goods which are returned to suppliers recorded in purchase returns book. The goods which are returned by customers returned in sales. This is a very easy way of writing. Cash book, all cash transactions we see in the next video lesson. Bills accepted by customers and received by us recorded in bills receivable book. Bills accepted by us and given to suppliers recorded bills payable book. General proper is the last journal in which the transactions which cannot be entered in the first 7 books are recorded in the journal proper. That's why journal proper is called residuary journal, residuary book. If a transaction is not possible to enter in purchase book, sales book, purchase returns book, sale returns book, cash book, bills receivable book, bills payable book, will be entered in the last book, that is journal proper, that is residuary journal. Residuary, and this is called residuary journal, residuary book. The transaction which are not possible to enter in the first 7 subsidiary books, the transaction which are not entered in the first 7 subsidiary books will be entered in the last book, that is journal proper. We discuss about this later. So let us stop screen sharing. Okay, this is about purchase returns book and purchase book, and let us stop here.